Yeah, it's your boy Girl here, back with another video, and today I got a special video, guys. Man, today we're gonna be back with the Tournament Power Season 109 Best Teams. You guys know every season we guys do this, different tiers of units and everything like that for different teams. So I'm gonna show you guys like the best characters to use, so you guys can try to get to as much Chrono Crystals as possible, right? Always focus on trying to find ways to make the team stronger where it comes to Z power. It comes to getting your characters to friendship level 10 for higher stats. It could be Zenkaiing them to max level. It could be arch boosting. It could be anything that helps with just increasing their stats. Just do it. It doesn't help invest in your resource in your team, so it's easier for you to survive and get the 1.5k CCs. So yeah, that's pretty much it with the intro there. Like I said, I'm gonna show you guys the best teams. If you guys do enjoy these type of videos, subscribe to the channel, as we are approaching part 3 of the 7th anniversary. Who knows what's going to happen? Looking like it's Namek Saga related, Namek Goku, Ultra Frieza, so yeah, if you guys enjoyed, let's get straight into the video and let's start off with Regen. Alright, so for the first team, we're going to talk about Regen. We're going to talk about the backup characters, the Z's and the S for this season. To me, I think there's probably 3 that kind of catches out my eye. First, I'm going to go with the Sparking Buhan here, the free-to-play Buhan. His Z ability is really bad. He only does purple and blue. But, I mean, the fact that he nullifies the first attack kind of helps with defense, and then he has decent blast damage. And then, he's a Sparking character, so his stats is okay. So, I think he's the best one out of the 3 that I'm going to mention. After that, I'm going to go with this cell. I think just the fact that he debuffs all enemies so they take more damage. It's pretty good. The only issue is that he has really no way of defense at all, no reduction of damage, no shield, no nothing. But the fact that the enemy takes more damage is pretty good. So after that, here we're going to have Nail. I think Nail just has the best overall Z ability for the team. 38 to offense and blast and strike. And then after that, I think he's just the 3rd best overall. After that, I really don't know. So let's talk about the S tier characters. I think they've got a lot of good S tier characters. For Regen, me personally, I have Omega Shenron replace 10 with blue tanks. He's a really good option. You got Yellow EX Piccolo for the heals. You have Zenkai Metal Cool that I really like. You do have the free-to-play Super Boo. Those are the top 4 that I really like. Some decent options is like, the green Piccolo here, red Transforming Cell, he's strike based. Those are like my top 6 favorites. So let's talk about the main 6 here though. Super Baby 2, the main healer of the team, decided to rock him. He's core for the team. And in terms of my damage dealers, I do have LF Piccolo as a character that has guaranteed blue card every match. Transforms, has high stats, great Z ability. CMZ, another great damage dealer here, slowly ramps with special move. Gauge, right, that's really powerful. He ramps up over time with damage inflicted, and then he heals as well. So even though he's a strike based character, just his kit overall is too good to not even run him, so I decided to still rock him. After that, we got Cell. I think he's just a really great damage dealer. He does extra damage to hybrids and Saiyans, I believe, or Sun Fam. You face a lot of Gokus and Gohans anyways, so that's really powerful. And then I believe like he's just a really good overall character with a great Z ability for strike and blast, which is nice. After that, I got Baby Trunks. I think Baby Trunks just has the better Z ability compared to the free-to-play DKP. You guys can definitely rock the free-to-play DKP. They're both fine, but I'd rather prefer somebody that has a little bit a better Z ability for like PO and Regen, right, which is my team. And then, like I said, I went with Omega Shenron just because Omega Shenron is in the S tier, so I'm like, hey, I might as well go for him. He gains more points than Boo Tanks, right? I'm gonna just go with that. So that's pretty much my main 6 and everything. Let's talk about like the replacements for each color. If we're talking about red for Regen, for the main 6, I'm talking about the main 6 options. And we talk about the C tier first. Like I said, I think it's just going to be Ultra Cell. I know his banner came out, so if you guys did summon on him and pulled him, he's a really great option. And then after that, if you're trying to do maybe like a double Zenkai ability, you guys can do the Zamasu here just because he gives double Z ability to Red Future. So if you want to do double red with him and CMZ or him and Cell, you can. But if you're talking about a main red, then I'm doing Ultra CMZ. I mean LF CMZ and Ultra Cell. After that, let's talk about the B tier. You do have Red 21 free to play and then Goku Piccolo, which I really like. A tier, I do like Buhan, and I do like Piccolo Jr. Either one is fine. And after that, let's go with the yellows. Yellows, the C tiers are pretty much strike based. I'm not gonna really refer to them because this is a blast based team. Yellow, I mean, you guys could rock the Ultra Cell. You guys could. He's solid. He's a strike based character, but I mean, he gets the job done. He slowly heals, I believe, and ramps up his damage every time. So that's really powerful. But the A tier, they actually got some good characters. They got both the Majin Buu Good and the Rage Shenron. So me personally, I think Rage Shenron is probably number one for me. And then I'll go, no, Majin Buu Good is number one. The Rage Shenron is number two. I'll put this free to play Cell just because he's more blast based 3. And then I'll do like Zenkai perfect form Cell, but they're strike based characters like Ultra Kid Buu and everything last because they're more strike based. This is a blast based team. After that, we got purple here. I think one thing that I really like about purple is they actually finally put Garlic Jr. up to A tier compared to B, so that's really powerful. I definitely think he's a really good option for the purple side for sure. If you don't have Garlic Jr. still, you do have Light Skin Piccolo. I think he's finally up in B tier, so that's pretty good. That's really good. And then after that, you got the C tier spot where you could probably just do the Zenkai Cell here. He's really good, even though he's strike based. His stats are really high. You'll be able to be fine with the blast. And then you got LF Cell, which I have in my main 6 here. Also, we're gonna go for green here. When it comes to the green, I think green is also a really hard color. If we look at the C tier spot, I really do like Omega. I think Omega, and then after that, I'll probably put Cryon. If you're looking at C tier. If you look at the B tier side, I think there's some really good options. Let me take out the C tier spot. Evil Buu will be number one. Ooh, actually, First Form Cell will be number one, and then Evil Buu. If you're looking at the B tier spots, I think overall, I think Cell is the best green in terms of just how good he is individually. Just he heals 10%. He gives debuffs. Really powerful. I might actually just maybe remove this. What's the name? I might remove Baby Trunks and just put Cell in. I'm not gonna lie, like the A to B tier points isn't really that much of a difference. A tier wise, like I said, you do have Baby Trunks, you do have free to play DKP, and then you do have Fusions of Masu. So I might make that change of taking Baby Trunks and putting in that Cell. And then last but not least, we have Blue here. Blue, if we actually take a look at the C tier spots, like I said, you do have LF Kid Buu and Masu. That's pretty okay, but I'll probably put them a little bit lower just because Super Baby 2 is already taking the C tier spot. You kind of want to look at someone that has that's not in the C tier spot. So second form Cell and Buu Tanks are really good options for the B tier. A tier wise, I would just go with free to play Cooler. And then S tiers, like I said, Omega Shenron. And I'm not really the fan of these other characters. I think they're more so on the backup than a main 6 character. So yeah, that's pretty much all the colors there. Let's hop into the next team. Alright, so for the next thing we have is going to be androids. So we're going to be talking about the Z tier spot and the S tier, the backups. I think there's 3 characters that I really like from here. If you guys do rock androids, let me know about Android 14 and 15. I've been seeing a few people rocking them like on the leaderboards, but I just don't know how good they are. But for me, I think just better character that you guys can choose is definitely the free to play 13, Android 13. He's definitely number one. He shouldn't even be in the Z tier spot, but the fact that he is really valuable. Even though he's strike based, it's just that he's just the best Z tier character if you're looking for points at him. After that, I like the EX17. I know his Z ability only buffs red, but I just think his kit overall is pretty solid. I think it's not bad. He ramps up over time, and I think he's just pretty solid as a Z tier character. And then last, I'll put the perfect form Cell, the EX one, because of the debuffs he gives. When it comes to the S tier, they got some good options too. You have the free to play 18 blast base. I'm gonna put her a little bit higher. You do have Super 13. He doesn't get the guaranteed blue. I think second turn, right? Or third turn. Yep, third turn he gets a guaranteed blue, and then he can Zenkai buff another red android. So if you want to do that type of synergy, that's really nice, really powerful. Then you also just have some strike based characters like red transforming Cell, green 16, the new one. You got the free to play 17. Cell Jr. is okay. I kind of like him more in the Z tier spot, but if you need just a solid EX S tier, he's still another good character. You have him at 9 stars or higher, right? He ramps up over time and heals himself, so that's really powerful. Those are like my favorite S tier characters. So when it comes down to the main 6, I decided to go with 17, MVP 17. He's a blast based character. Still, I think that's the best overall blue character for androids. There's multiple options to choose from now, but I still just stick with him because, you know, the stuff that he brings for the team is really nice. You got double heals with the first form cell in 18, and plus the EX first form cell is Zenkai buff in 18 by a little bit. So plus he brings the HP, he damage support, all that good stuff. After that, for purple, I decided to go with the Future 17 just because he's in the A tier spot, so it just helps with the extra little points there. And then after that, I went with Ultra Cell for my red just because I have him at, you know, I have him at higher stars than Super 17. But to each their own, I can show you guys replacements, but I'm just going with Super Cell. I mean, he ramps up his blue card, what, every turn? End of turn, so it's kind of similar to like CMZ, which is really powerful. And then for my green, I went first form cell. He's in B tier. He heals himself by 10% each turn. Debuffs, really powerful. So if we're talking about the best replacements for the main 6 each color, when it comes to the blue side, I think my favorite blue second will be Android 18. She's really powerful. Her kit is really nice. Equal stats, but I believe she's actually in this C tier spot as well. Yeah, they actually put her down to the C. They realized how valuable she was. And then after that, if it's not them, I will probably put, let me take the C tier spot. I'll put in second form cell. He's another blast based character that's really nice. And then all the other ones are pretty much strike based, like Aider and Celza and Gamma 2. So I kind of put them last. After that, we go green. If it's not Zenkai first form cell, I think some good greens that I like is Magenta. Magenta's more strike, but he gets a guaranteed blue, which is really nice depending on the enemy's remaining characters. Gamma 1, you have a Zenkai green 21. After that, when it comes to purple, I like the Future 17 just because of his tier boost. But if not, you do have LF perfect form cell. You have the Zenkai perfect cell. You also have GT Android 17. So those are like my top purple characters. Yellow wise, I think just by far yellow 18 and then the first form cell are the best ones just because of their synergy and the support that they give for their other units. I think they're just the top 2 characters. But if not, you do have Gamma 1. You do have free to play cell just because he's blast based. You have yellow 18 here, the Future 18, and then you have Zenkai cell. He's strike based, but he still gets the job done. And then you have her at max stars. EX 18 is really good as well. So after that, when it comes to red, I think red is like Ultra Cell Super 17 if you have them, depending on what stars you have them, 1 or 2. Then third, for me, I'm going to go with free to play red 21. Then you have the tag droids 4th. And yeah, that's pretty much it with the team here. Let's hop into the next team. Alright, so the next team we have is Blast Based Majin Buu Saga. Let's get straight into it. So I think just the best Z tier characters for this season is probably EX Dabura and the free to play Super. I keep saying Super Buu. The free to play Buhan. I used him once. I think he performed pretty well, so I kind of a little bit more confident in him in terms of rocking him as a backup character. If you don't have these two for the Majin Buu Saga, I think there's some okay S tier characters. I would say out of them, depending on what you rock. If you're rocking more of a Sun fam, then I put Goten number 1. If not, if it's just like a lot of Majin Buu Saga, just different characters, then I'm gonna go free to play Super Buu second. Third, I will go Green Gotenks, and then I'll go the Zenkai Evil Buu. And then after that, you do have the free to play Kid Buu here, but I think he's more so PO than Majin Buu Saga, so that's why I put him 5th. But and then you also have Videl. I mean, Videl's strike based, but if you're just looking for a solid character, then you also have Videl. So when it comes to this team, though, the main 6 here, I've always tried to focus on just having like just a dominant offensive characters in terms of the blast, right? I decided to always go with my 3 main C tiers is always Gotenks, Ulton, and then the Buu duo, just because you just need someone that does damage. And 2 of the things that's bad about them is 2 of their characters has double defense, so you kind of want to just build other characters with blast offense abilities because the team is not going to do that much damage output. So that's why I always use free to play 18 for the support. You guys could also do Majin Buu good. They both kind of do the same thing. So which one, if you have one at higher stars or you prefer one over the other, or you rock both, you guys can do double yellows and rock no greens. It just depends on how you want to build a team. So I always add her, and I always add Tien, because Tien, if you have him at max stars, he has the highest blast attack Z ability for the team, 42, and then he's also giving strike defense. Not only that, he's giving health restoration and support damage, so they're doing more damage if you play something like this, which is really powerful to me. I think that's a really solid character as A tier. And then I have Pui Pui here for the HP. If you don't have Pui Pui, he's a really hard character to get. I don't know if he's part of the event exclusive exchange shop. You guys can always sub him out for like Evil Boo. So, but this is my main 6 here. I'm gonna show you guys the replacements for each color for the blast based team. Let's get started. Now, when it comes to red is pretty tough. Like I said, you have Gotenks #1 for me. After that, in terms of like just a good Z ability, I'll probably put Buhan #2 just because of his Z ability. #3, I'll probably put Shin just because Shin has great support, and it depends on what you want to use your red for, but I'll put him 3rd. And then 4th, I'll probably just do the Zenkai Super Saiyan 3 Goku because he's more blast based, and then I'll probably put Majin Vegeta 5th. After that, when it comes to yellow, I think there's just 2 for the blast based side. Main 6, I'm gonna go yellow 18. I'm gonna go Majin Buu good. All the other ones are really strike based. So for the blast based side, purple for the main 6 is either you go Ultimate LF Ultimate Gohan or you go to free to play Super Saiyan 3 Goku, depending on if you want this person to be more support or just a more damage dealer. Depending on how you orchestrate your team, I think those 2 are just by far the best purples to use. When it comes to green, like I said, I go Pui Pui just because of the support he gives and the HP buff. If you don't have him though, I mean, you guys can definitely go with Evil Boo, right? Then after that, you're pretty much just looking at like strike based characters like the Super Saiyan 3 transforming Goku, and then like Evil Boo, you know. So it's either Pui Pui or Evil Boo in my opinion. And then for the blue, like I said, you have Tien, you have the Boo duo, and then you have LF Kid Boo, and then you also have Boo Tanks. And then for the strike based side, you have the fusing Vegito. You can't go wrong with that. The Burrow, I also put him in there. I put him more towards the bottom spot, but you definitely can for sure. After that, I think that's pretty much all the colors for this team. So yeah, that's pretty much it with the blast based Majin Buu saga. Let's hop into the next team. Alright, next we have is going to be blast based future. In terms of the backup characters, I decided to go with these 2. I mean, I think they got some really good backup characters this season. I'm not gonna lie. So I think the top 2 best ones is this EX Red Mai, just because she got damage inflicted buffs per like future or girls, and then extra damage and support when she's paired up with a Trunks character. So with this setup, you are going to have Trunks in your main 6 and your backup, so that's really nice. And like I said, the second one is going to be Trunks. I mean, double offensive Z abilities for future. That's really powerful. And then he's just probably the best overall character here. Some other replacements that I think would be pretty solid, I haven't really tested out. You have transforming Trunks here. He's super old, but transforming character. You pair him up with a lot of Vegeta clan and hybrids character, his value goes up a little bit higher. You also have like the Zenkai Goku Black and the Super Saiyan 2 Trunks. I think just the stats, that's pretty much good. That's good enough for itself to carry them. And then I'll probably do the EX Cell last for the Z tier spot. When it comes to the S tiers, I think there's some good options here as well. I think 3 that I really like is going to be the red transforming cell, the Goku Black, and then the EX Grunks. But the problem is pretty much all of them are strike based. I think all 3 of them predominantly does more strike than blast, right? Oh, he does blast. So that's really cool. So you guys can definitely rock them. But I think if you have a lot of those Z tiers, definitely for sure do that, because just the higher points for the team. And then when it comes to the main 6 here, I usually always prioritize rocking Red Mai, just trying to get as much special move damage gauge for all your characters so they can get to their special move card as fast as possible. So if you look CMZ, and then you also have what's the name, they get special move gauge, but Mai every time the turn ends, she grants them support and special move gauge up. So that just gets them more access to their blue card as fast as possible each fight. So that's really powerful to me. And then after that, we have Yellow 18. She's just more of a healer support role. Everybody else here can pretty much heal on their own. Purple 17, Vegito when he transforms, CMZ when he attacks. And I believe they heal when they, at the start of the first turn. So everyone can heal in a sense besides like their main damage dealers, besides I think Mai. And then 18 is just healing everybody else, so that's pretty cool. When it comes to the replacements for each color though, let's get straight to it. Let's start off with red. I think red CMZ and Ultra Cell are pretty much just the top 2 dogs to pick out of here. Yeah, it's Ultra Cell and then CMZ. You could go with like LF, Murzamasu and stuff, but like they're strike based. So CMZ is strike based, but just his kit overall is really powerful. So CMZ, Ultra Cell. After that, when it comes to yellow, you do have yellow 18, and then you also have Trunks Vegeta. They're really powerful. It's just that you want to be careful with how many C tier characters you choose from. So if you guys are going to do that, then just be mindful of just how many C tier characters you choose. But yeah, I'll say TV. Then I'll do like the free-to-play cell here, and then I'll do the Zenkai cell. After that, we got purple. We have purple 17. You do have Grunks. They are half purple, I guess. So then after that, you have LF cell, and then you have LF perfect cell, LF perfect form cell, and then you have LF perfect cell. So you guys have those options. Green, if you don't have transforming VB at high stars, you guys can definitely go with first form cell. It's really good, really powerful character. I think those are like this the best 2 options in my opinion. Everybody else is strike based, so like you got like the free to play Fuses and Masu and the LF Trunks, but they're Z tier. I mean they're strike based, you know. So I kind of put them at the bottom. After that, for the blues, I think blues might be one of the worst colors for what's the name here, because I believe second form cell does not buff future. Yeah, he does not. So you have Grunks. After that. Even though he doesn't buff future, I mean second form cell is still a good option to choose. Then you have like LFCMZ, not LFCMZ, but you have Blue Zamasu, then you have Sword of Trunks, and then you have like the free to play Goku Black there. So I think blue might be their worst color in my opinion for future. But yeah, that's pretty much it. All the replacements for the future blast base. Let's hop into the next team. Alright, so next team we have LOE. So LOE, this is probably the first time I've seen them actually have not really good Z tier options. And in the S, they don't really got that much. They kind of been peeping a lot of people putting the LOE, so they've been kind of holding them this season. But yeah, for the Z tier option, I'm not entirely sure how good this character is. So I don't want to just recommend to rock him, but I would say if there is a best Z tier option, it'll be this transforming cooler. But I'm just not sure how he's going to perform. I know he's a transforming character, and I don't know when does he transform. End of second turn, so that's pretty tough in my opinion. And I feel like he gets his support when he gets hit, you know. And you got to rely off RNG. I don't know, so I'm gonna just go stick with the S. I think they're gonna be a little bit tough to get high points with them though. But like I said, the best S in my opinion, you gotta have the free to play green Frieza and then Zenkai Metal Cooler. The other S tiers are kind of pretty bad, so they kind of really hold the LOE team for this season, but I feel like they're going to bring them back next season, and I feel like there's a reason why they did that. So anyway, when it comes to the main 6, it's pretty much the same characters in the sense you have 2 healers in terms of Revival Frieza and then this Golden Frieza here. They both heal the team. You have someone that does your guaranteed blue card with AGF, and then you have a character that has great support, gives HP for the team, high value, high key recovery, and he's Zenkai buffing another character that is supporting LF Frieza to get double Zenkai buff for himself. He also has a stun. He also gives support as well, and him and Shield has 2 of the highest key restore speeds for the team. So if you're facing any greens, they're pretty much just gonna get them out as fast as possible. And then for the last character, I decided to go with another green character just because he's in the A tier spot compared to Red Frieza, which is I think he's in the B tier spot. This Red Frieza, so I'm like, hey, I might as well just go and just grab me another A tier character with the Zenkai cooler, green cooler. So I decided to go with him. You could actually rock red here, but I think overall he's just a better character. So I just don't really care too much about having a green unless you're facing a ton of yellows. You can switch the metal, the Zenkai cooler for the red devious Frieza. But in terms of the replacements, I think it's pretty difficult to replace each color, but I can still show you guys just cause. But I think it's really difficult to replace because they all perform really good in terms of what their roles are. But anyways, let's talk about red. I think red, there's just not that many colors to choose from, options to choose from. It's Zenkai Metal Cooler and then red DBS Frieza, and then you go on LF Cooler or EX Frieza. That's pretty much the main 4. Yellow, if you don't have AGF, the sparking one, you do have the Zenkai, and yeah, the Zenkai Sparking full power Frieza, and then you also have LF full power Frieza. After that, you got purple. If you don't have shield, shield is must. LF perfect, LF purple Frieza. You can rock him. You can use him without him. So I was just say third will be Mecha Frieza, and everybody else is just strike based like UGF, Go Frieza, and Celza. Green wise, I would say the best green after these three greens for the main six. I'll probably just go with the TOP Summonable Sparking AGF, and then I'll probably go with the Zenkai Golden Frieza. And then when it comes to blue, if it's not Revival Frieza, even though I think he's a must-have because he's another healer for the team, I'll probably go with the free-to-play Metal Cooler. And then after that is all strike-based characters like Cells and Go Frieza. So, yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it with LOE. Let's hop into the next team. Alright, so for the next team, we have Frieza Force Blast Base. It's pretty much just a more broad variation of LOE. You just not having cooler or chilled, so you kind of have to just replace them in a sense. But let's talk about the Z tier characters. I think there's two good Z tier characters here. I just didn't want to add too many green characters, but I think EX Broly and then the Sparking Raditz are probably the top two best ones here. I'm not entirely sure how good this Nappa is, right? So I'll probably put him third, but I really think the EX Broly is number one, then Raditz two, and I'll probably put Nappa three, the young Nappa. After that, we got the S tier. I think the S tier is pretty rough here. I mean, you can go with the free-to-play Sparking Frieza, and you can pretty much go with any of these free-to-play EX characters like a Pool. I think a Pool is really good. I also do like Raspberry. I think just as it's a red blast-based character, he's pretty solid. I also think Nabana's okay. And then Monray and Rollberry, I probably put them fourth and fifth. So when it comes to the main six though, we're going to put Purple Frieza in the middle just because of the support that he gives for the team. I think that's really nice. So kind of want to have him enter in the center here. Let me actually put him here, and then let me put this guy here. Yeah, let's do that. After that here, we're going to have the yellow Frieza just because he gets the guarantee. He's just your main damage dealer for the team. Guaranteed blue. I think this is just super valuable not to like take out. And then you got Revival Frieza, healer and support, and he also got a Zenkai, so his value is just really good. And then, like I said, I'm always going to keep the AGF Frieza just because he also gives, he gives healing for the team. You have three healers, so you could actually just take the green Frieza just because you have three healers. You kind of just need someone that does a little bit more damage. So if you want to go down to the C tier spot and just add in like this Vegeta, for example, just someone that does more damage for the team instead of just having three support. You kind of have four support characters you want to actually output damage. So I'll just go with this this Vegeta because I have him. I'm gonna show you guys the replacements. And then after that, like I said, I went Naval just because he gives the support for the team, and then after every end of turn he's canceling debuffs twice. So I think that's really valuable in terms of some characters that just has annoying debuffs. So I think that's really better than this Frieza in my opinion. They both heal and give support the same. It's just that he gives the extra debuff notification twice, while this Frieza is more offensively better. So you kind of have to pick your poison there. But yeah, that's pretty much like the Frieza Force that I like in terms of what's going on this season. For best colors wise though, let's talk about red. I think red here, I think it is, if you have Jason Bird at high stars, I wouldn't rock him at 3 stars. Don't do that. But if if you have a good 7-star higher Jason Birder, I'll put them 1 and 2. Number 1. Number 2 is pretty much DBS Frieza. Number 3, because I think Raditz is actually in C tier. No, he's not. Oh, he's in B. I'll actually put Raditz 2. I'll put DBS Frieza 3, and I'll put 8 Vegeta 4. When it comes down to the yellow, let me take this out. I think AGF is number 1. I'll probably do the Zenkai Full Power Frieza, and I'll do Nappa Cyberman 3, Full Power Frieza LF 4, purple. I'm gonna go LF Frieza, and pretty much all the other purples is pretty much just like I'm gonna go like Mecha Frieza, Revival Ginyu, and then Nappa Vegeta. The Revival Nappa Vegeta, and then green here. Pretty much the main greens are pretty much gonna be healers. So like Naval and then Vegeta or like 1 and 2 for me. And then after that, you do, if you want to add in this Frieza, you can. Then also I'll just add in the AGF summonable, and then I'll also add in the resurrection of F Frieza as my green options. And then blue is revival Frieza, and then you have Jason Birder, and then I'll probably go with this free to play Broly third. And then all the other ones are like strike based, like Go Frieza and stuff. So, or Broly and Chillai, they're all strike based. So let's hop into the next team. Alright, so for the next team here, we have a strike based Vegeta clan. I think Vegeta clan has some pretty good Z tier characters. They got two that's really, that stands out for me. So let's talk about it. I think the top two, in my opinion, is the Green Shredder Trunks double offensive Z ability. Can't go wrong with that. And then the transforming movie Trunks gives support for Vegeta clan when he transforms. I think he's pretty solid for a Z tier character. I think some good characters that you guys can also choose from is this EX. My bad for the blow. EX Trunks, I mean, he's more catered to GT, so I'm going to put him dead last. But if you really just need somebody, I guess he's an option. But I'm going to go these two purple characters. Then after that, I'll probably go with this Vegeta, this transforming melee Vegeta, and then the Zenkai Super Saiyan 2 Trunks, just because, the Zenkai enough should be good enough. I think his stats are solid enough to be okay. So after that, when it comes to the S tiers, I think the ones that I like a lot will probably be the EX Grunks here. I do for the Blast Base team, Coat Vegeta. You can't go wrong with that HP for Vegeta Clan. And I'm going to go with the yellow Super Vegeta and then the GT Vegeta. Just because they're... I'm tripping. I'm strike base. I'm tripping. EX Grunks, my bad. And then you have Drip Trunks. And then you have the Coat Vegeta. And then I'll probably go with the free-to-play Super Saiyan 2 and the free-to-play Super Saiyan Trunks. My bad. And then the other blast-based characters are like towards the bottom. Anyways, the main six here. In terms of the healing, I always go Bull of Vegeta for the strike-based side. Even for the blast-based, you can't go wrong. You just need someone that has support and healing. I always value that. And I always add in the red Vegeta just for extra, supporting of healing as well. You can never go wrong with two if you can. So I would just add them together. Now, if you have Ultra Minds Vegeta, definitely rock him. This team is really catered to for all the people that rocks UMV. I think he's just by far the best yellow for the team currently in terms of the strike-based side. In terms of the blue, I have Fusion Vegeta. I think he's just the best blue overall. And then green-wise, I think I have Trunks here, but if I had Daima Vegeta, he's just by far the best green Vegeta clan character. And then here, I always just go with Trunks and Mai. They heal themselves by 5%, give support to each other, so you can never go wrong with that at all. So I'll probably go something like this here if you have UMV. So let's talk about the best characters for each color though. If you're talking about red here, I think red is going to be more so like your support character. I don't think you're going to really see a dominant offensive character, but if I had to choose one just overall, I'll probably go Super Vegeta. You have him at high stars. After that, free to play Majin Buu Saga Vegeta just because of his support. Trunks and Mai I probably put third. Ape Vegeta I probably put fourth, and Super Zenkai Majin Vegeta fifth. Yellow is gonna be UMV, and it's pretty much gonna be Fusing Gogeta Blue. All the other characters are blast based, so in terms of strike base wise, purple it's pretty much gonna be Bull of Vegeta. Everybody else in a sense are strike based. Blue boys I'll probably put them second. And then third, just because they have equal stats, I'll just go Grunks. I love Grunks. Green wise, like I said, Daima Vegeta is number 1. 2, I'll probably do LF Super Saiyan Team Trunks. 3, I'll probably go with the Tag 4s for the strike base side. Blue wise, I'm going to go Fusion Vegeta. You have Grunks, and then you have LF Sort of Hope Trunks. Those are like my top 3 blues for the strike side of Vegeta Clan. So yeah, that's pretty much it with the team. Let's hop into the next team. Alright, next we got movies, strike-based movies. Like I said, such a broad team, so it always depends on just what characters you have. If you guys have a strike-based team, not strike-based team, but if you got like a hybrids team or a PO team or like a Saiyans team, it just kind of just depends on what movie setup you guys have, right? So me, I kind of have more of like a hybrid setup in the sense. I just don't have Yellow Beast Gohan, but there's so many characters to choose from, so I don't really know what is the optimal movie strike-based team, but I'm gonna just show you guys a ton of replacements. But for me, I think I just have more of like that PO hybrids look, so I kind of have that like that mixed in, so I kind of combine them two. So in terms of the backup characters though, you have multiple backup characters to choose from. In my opinion, you know, you have the free-to-play Tapion, the free-to-play Android 13. I think they're just top two. If you have more of a hybrid setup, this guy values pretty high, the Trunks transforming teens. After that, you do have like the EX Broly, and then you have this EX Gohan. You don't have this fusion Vegeta, but I think I don't know how good he is. I think he's pretty solid. He's a solid character to choose from. And then you also have, yeah, those are like my favorite ones that I like, that stands out to me. S tier wise, you have so many S tier characters to choose from. I mean, let's see which ones that I really like. A lot of the EX ones are pretty solid. Like you got the free to play Bojack. I like the Drip Trunks, it's pretty solid. And then, yeah, in terms of the strike bases, because he's in Z ability wise, you guys could go like 13 Z ability doesn't help the team. Turles is okay. The Zenkai Metal Cooler is pretty solid as well. But yeah, those are like my favorite 5 right now. And you also have this Bardock. If you have him at high star, he's pretty solid. So those are like my favorite 6 that I can see immediately. Those would be my favorite 6. But let's talk about the backup characters for each color. Like I said, for my setup here, I just got more of a Gohan PO setup, where it's just Pan. You got Nerd Han just because he's not in the C tier spot, so extra points there. And then Blue Beast, and then I have Garlic Jr. in the middle. Gives nullification support, and then he transforms. Strike base Tapion gives a little bit of healing for one person, so if you want to focus on Beast, you want to focus on Garlic, you want to focus on Nerd, you guys can go there. And then to me, I also have Magenta. The debuffs he gives is pretty insane, and then he gets a guaranteed blue when there's 3 or less enemies. So let's talk about the best colors for each, best units for each color. My goodness, sorry about that. Let's talk about red. So red, I like to go with Pan. After that, I'm gonna go with Red Transforming Beast. I'm gonna go Nerd, Gohan. I'm gonna go LF Cooler, and then I'm forgetting somebody. Who am I missing? I'm missing another red. You have Red Transforming Broly. That's 5 right there. Those are like my top 5 favorite reds. And then you can also add in Great Salmon 1 and 2 or Tapion if you're trying to do a Zenkai buff for one of your stronger reds. You guys can do that synergy as well. So I kind of put them on the 6th spot. Yellow wise, Yellow Beast is by far the best yellow. After that, I'll probably go with Gotenks, Fat Gotenks. Then after that, I'll probably go with Fusing Gogeta Blue, LF Gogeta Blue, then Tapion. Tapion has value because he's he's not in the C tier spot, so I think his value kind of stands on itself there. Purple wise, to me, I like Garlic Jr. just overall what he does. Blue Boys is really good too. After that, I'll probably go Ultra Gogeta Blue UGF, and then you have Ultra DBZ Broly. And then after them, it's like Light Skin Piccolo, Red Ribbon Army Piccolo, and then it's like this Revival Gohan. After that, when it goes to green, I think the favorite greens that I like is Super Saiyan God Goku. Then it's Magenta. Vidal's also pretty solid. Dragon Fist. Yeah, Dragon Fist. Those are like my favorite 4 greens in terms of the main 6 that I'll put. Yeah, those would be like my favorite 6. So then after that, when it comes to blue, I have Blue Beast, Ultra Super Gogeta, Ultra Janemba. Turles could be added. I'm putting him more on the bottom. I don't know how equal his stats are. If it's more towards the blast, then he's at the bottom. If it's equal, then I'll put him like 4th. After that, I'm also forgetting another character here. Who am I missing? There's a character I wanted to talk about. Blue Beast, USG, Ultra Janemba, Turles. And there's another blue character. Who am I forgetting? I don't remember. Him. I think those are the main 4 that I like. Yeah, those are the main 4. Yeah, those are the main 4. So, anyways, yeah, that's pretty much all the characters for the movie Strike Base. Let's hop into the next. Alright, next team we have is Strike Base GT. Let's get straight to it. So GT don't really have that much options for each team, but they have the right options, if that makes sense. They have enough. you have enough replacements, right? So let's talk about the backup characters. I think just the top two best overall ones from the Z tier is just Oob and that GT Trunks. Like they're just by far the best ones. If I had to pick some other characters, I'll probably do like the Red Super Baby 2. We have a lot more PO, GT. I mean, well, is it GT or just PO for him? I think it's both. So I'll probably go like the EX Super Baby 2. You have the EX Baby Vegeta and the EX Shin. But I think just top tier EX Oob and EX GT Trunks. The S tier wise, EX Omega, Zenkai Super Saiyan Vegeta, and then you have, those are really like the top two. And then the strike base is like Red Mini Goku and then Yellow Super 17 in my opinion. But let's talk about the main six here. Always have Super Baby 2 and Bull Vegeta just for the support and just the healing wise for the team. I'm always going to rock them together. And then I think Tag 4 is just overall the best green. Still is like the best strike base green. It's pretty nuts. Then after that, I will always go with the Super Saiyan Kid Goku just because him and Super Baby 2 can Zenkai buff each other, double Zenkai buff. Red Kid Goku just because he's an S tier, just helps with points. And then Yellow Shin, Zenkai Shin, just because he has a double offensive Z ability and he's not in the C tier spot. So if we're talking about the best colors for each in terms of the strike base side of things, let's start off with Red. Red is pretty much like Red Kid Goku and then it's Red Omega. That's pretty much the top two reds for strike base. When it comes to Yellow, like I said, it's Shin. I wouldn't say Shin is overall the best. I think Super Baby 2, Forku, then it's Shin, but you know, he has a little bit more value because he's not in the C tier spot. And I'll probably do Pan. I'll probably put Pan fourth. Then after that, I'm gonna go purple here. I think Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is number one. I don't have him. Fourth, second, Vegeta Bola, and then third, Zenkai Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Green. Oh yeah, no, and then no, Celza, and then Zenkai Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Green is pretty much Tag 4s and LF Gogeta 4. Then blue is Super Baby 2, GT Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Celza, and then I'll probably put like USB Spirit Bomb Goku 4th. So yeah, that's pretty much it with the strike base of GT. Let's hop into the blast base. Alright, next we have is going to be GT blast base. So let's get straight into it. When it comes to the Z tier spot, like I said, I think just the top two best ones is Oob, EX Oob, and EX the GT Trunks, the new one. Then after that, it's pretty much like EX Shin, EX Baby Vegeta, and then EX Super Baby 2. So after that, we do have the S tier versions. I'm gonna go with EX Omega, and I'm gonna go with the Super Saiyan Vegeta, and then Kid Goku and Super 17 for the blast base side of things. Let's talk about the main six here. Super Baby 2, the blue one, and Bulla Vegeta support for healing wise, double healing. Someone's gonna keep them together. Even though Bulla is more strike based, just the healing is that crucial for the team. And then, like I said, Omega and Super 17 are just like the best blast based characters for the team. The debuffs that they do together and amount of spaces that their debuff covers is pretty nuts. I believe they overlap with 6 of them. The top 6 spots, they actually overlap, right? I think Omega does 7 spots. No. It's the bottom middle he overlaps. So that top right one and then the middle row. So they overlap with 4 of them. So that's really powerful. And then Super 17, like I said, just blast based stuff. He absorbs blast cards, extra buffs for himself, and then he debuffs every time he wins a blast card. It's pretty nuts. And then purple, GT17, just the only purple blast based character for GT still. And then yellow, I just went with Omega just because his Z ability is pretty good, double offensive Z abilities. You can't go wrong with that. So yeah, let's talk about the best characters for the blast base. I think there's just really not that many options compared to blast to strike, but let's talk about it though. Let's talk about red. I think red is Super 17. I think it's the red Super Saiyan Kid Goku, and then I think it's free to play Shin. After that, we're gonna go yellow. Yellow to me, I think it's pretty much Shin, and then the Super Saiyan Vegeta Zenkai, and then you probably put Oob third, and then all the other ones are strike. But actually, actually Rage. I'm gonna do Zenkai, Shin, Rage, Super Saiyan, Vegeta, fourth. Yeah. Purple is pretty much just GT17 for the blast base, blast base purple. Green, Omega. After that, it's pretty much just full power Super Saiyan. Actually, it's Baby Trunks and then full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. You could put Zenkai Super 17 in there as well. And then blue wise is pretty much Super Baby 2 Omega. And then USB. I think USB actually has equal stats. Right? Does he have equal stats? Yeah, he kind of have equal stats. I'll put him third. And everybody else is strike based, so it don't really matter. So, yeah, that's pretty much it with GT. Let's hop into the next team. Alright, so we have Unireps here, blast base. So I think Unireps is still recovering, right? A lot of people use them a ton on season 107. So I think like around once season 110 comes around, I think they're going to be back into like the regular program. But I think they're a lot better than what they were last season for sure. So in terms of the Z tier, I think the best ones is just overall Zenkai Caulifla and EX Dispo, just because you just want to get as much points as possible. So I think they're just the best two characters here. For the S tier wise, they got some good characters that you guys can use. You got Kaba in there if you want just more like HP and everything. You can't go wrong with him. More points. You guys can replace him for the green Frieza if you don't need the extra more healing for the team, right? If you don't want the Kale, the EX Kale and the free to play Frieza together for healing, you can just replace the golden Frieza with Kaba. After that, though, other characters that I like, in my opinion, Blue EX Jiren. I know he's strike base. I know EX Champa is strike base, but they're still good overall characters. EX Topo and then EX Magama. I know he's strike base, but those are the characters that I really like. And then I'll probably add in Zenkai Kale. So there's really like two like more like blast base here in the sense that I like. This is Topo and Kaba, and then the other ones are strike base, but just pick the overall best characters with the highest stars and rock them. You know, you want to get as much points as possible. So when it comes to the main six, though, pretty much all the good characters are still in the C tier spots. There's still some characters that I feel like deserves to be in B instead of C, but let's talk about it. We have EX Kale. EX Kale is kind of like one of the main healers for the team, so you always got to rock her. I always rock MVP 17 as my main blue, but you have other blue options to choose from, but they're pretty much all in C tier. I don't have MUI or the Vegeta or the Kaba, but I'm assuming that since Kale and Caulifla are still in C tier, I'm assuming all three of them are in C, so that's unfortunate. But for the purple wise, like I said, you guys can go with the Vegeta, the new Vegeta, Jiren or UI Sign. I have Angel go to Frieza. He's still in C tier. The free-to-play Angel go to Frieza is also in C tier, but I just think the extra healing is worth, so I'll use that. I'll grab another C tier for that. And then for the red, I didn't want to add in another C tier, so I just went with Bergamo HP for the team. Overall, just solid, valuable character. So ramps up over time, nullifies damage, and I think he heals. So that's pretty nice. So in terms of the best colors for each, though, it's gonna be pretty difficult though, because they're all pretty much, all the good ones are all pretty much in C tier. But for red, like I said, I think it's gonna be red Kaba for strike base. I mean for blast base. Red Kaba, MUI, then you have Bergamo. I think those are the best reds for the team. Yellow, you have like Ultra UI Sign, you have AGF, you have Ultra Kyle King, you have Evo. Those are like my top 4 blast base characters for yellow. Purple wise, you have the LF Vegeta, and then you have LF Jiren, and then you have LF UI Sign for the blast base side of the team. Green, when it comes to green, I like the Angel go to Frieza just because of the support that he gives in terms of heals. You have God Topo, you have the Zenkai Rev UI, you have Evokin, and then you have the Angel go to Frieza, and then Kaba is more so, I like him more as a backup character than the main 6 character. So, and then you have Kale Caulifla, but they're strike based. So, and then blue, like I said, you have EX Kale for support, you have MVP 17, you also have TOP 18, the Zenkai version. So yeah, that's pretty much it with the blast side. Let's hop into the strike base side. Alright, so we have the Unirep strike base side of the team. So I was kind of trying to free up a lot of the C tier spots with characters that are not in C tier, but I was only able to I was able to free. Oh, I was actually able to free up 2 of them. That's pretty tough. But let's talk about the backup character, the Z's and the S. I think for this season, the Zenkai Caulifla and EX Discworld are just overall the best 2 Z tier characters. So even though one is Blast and one is Strike, just pick the best available. For the S tiers, I think they have a lot of good EX Strike based ones than Blast. You know, I think Kaba's #1, and then the other ones EX Jiren, EX Bergamo, EX Champa, and then you have like the Zenkai Kale, and you have the EX Topo. I think those are the top 6 S tiers that I really like. So, but anyways, let's hop into the main 6. The main 6 is going to be Kale. I think, like I said, support and healing. You can't go wrong with that. I added in the free-to-play Jiren because he also gives extra support and heals for the team. So you have kind of like 2 people that's giving support, which you can never go wrong with. So I decided to rock him. After that, I tried not to get too many of the characters in the C tier spot. I probably could have replaced one character. Like, for example, I could probably replace Kiawe and go with Kale Khalifa as a green and yellow character. I could definitely do that. But I have TOP 18. I don't have LFMUI Goku, the transforming one. I don't have him. So TOP 18 is still a solid character to choose, as she is a strike-based character, but she has equal stats, and she has great support and everything. I think she's an overall good character, and she can slowly ramp up her blue card each fight, so that's really powerful. Bergamo HP ramps up, he heals, he has a shield, and then after that I have Kaioken Goku, kind of like the other version, kind of like the strike version of AGF, where he gets a guaranteed blue card, helps with damage for the enemies. So in terms of the best characters for each color though, since I don't have every character that got shafted, unfortunately, let's go with red. I think red, you have multiple characters to choose from. You have red MUI Goku, you have Ultra Hit, you have Bergamo, you have red Casserole. I think those are the top reds. After that, when it comes to yellow, I think yellow is going to be Kale Caulifla, and then 2 is going to be the Kaioken Goku. And that's pretty much it for strike base. And then, you know, maybe EX 18 just because of like the supporting role. But yeah, strike base, yellow, those pretty much the best 3, unless I'm missing a character. The only one I'm missing is Ultra UI. He's blast based though. But anyways though, purple, I mean, you do have Go Frieza. Go Frieza is a really good option. And then you also have the free to play Jiren. Free to play Jiren does good damage still, gives support as well. So, you know, he's a fairly new character, so he has high stats and everything in terms of his kit, damage wise, outputs and stuff. So I think he's a really good character to choose from, while all the other purples are blast. So after that, we got green. I think green is Kale Khalifa's #1. Then #2, I'm gonna go Kiawe, and then 3, I'm gonna still go with like the Frieza just because of the supporting, and then everybody else is just blast base. You might as well just go blast base. I think green is a better blast base for the team than strike, but those are the best green strike based options. And then blue, I think it's LF transforming MUI Goku that just got dropped. And then I'm gonna go TOP 18, and I'm gonna go Frieza last. Kale's in there support wise, right? So I'm also gonna include her as well. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it with the strike based uni reps. Let's hop into the last team. Alright, so for the last tag, we're going to have blast based hybrids. We got a new addition here. I think the fact that he's a free-to-play character, but his kit is so good, he's going to be a must-have, especially for a must core unit for sure for blast based. Even for like strike based, you can actually rock him just because the support that he gives for the team is super valuable. But let's talk about the main 6 though. Not the main 6, the backup characters. I think Hybrid's got a lot of good characters to choose from for backups, so let's break it down here. You do have the green sweater Trunks and the EX Kid Gohan here. I mean, both double. I mean, the green sweater Trunks just overall just the best character. Double offensive Z abilities. I mean, the Gohan, he's just more suited for the blast based side of the team. But other characters that's pretty good though. I mean, transforming Trunks. You also have the Zenkai Super Saiyan 2 Trunks. Then you also have, I mean, he's strike based, but you know, Super Saiyan Gohan Teen. So those are like my favorite Z tier characters that I like. After that, we're gonna go S. S tier characters, you do have Goten, double offensive Z abilities, and then the guaranteed blue. You can't never go wrong with that. After that, I do like the EX Grunks. You can't go wrong with that with the support and the healing that he gives. And then after that, I mean, there's just strike based characters like Grunks. Yeah, I think those are my favorite 3. Damn, let's hop to the main 6 though. So we're gonna rock Pan, you know, HP for the team, Super Glazes all Gohan, and then in the middle we have the new free-to-play kid, Saiyan Saga Gohan. I think he's a must-have. If you actually look at his kit here, slowly ramps up, right? You know, he does some extra damage. This one kind of sucks when his ally dies, he ramps up, but you know, that sucks that half his thing is. But the fact that this second ability here, start of the 3rd turn, he heals his allies by 3% and gives them key recovery plus his blast damage, is really powerful. That's extra healing for the team. So that's something that I use that I like a lot. I mean, I usually rock the free-to-play Goten because of the healing that he gives for Gohan characters. So the fact that you have this character, you guys can rock him, and he's a Gohan character, so he's going to get the support from Pan, which is nice. So he's going to do more damage. Then after that, I decided to go with Nerdhan instead of, you know, just because instead of Gotenks, just because he's not a C tier character. Double offensive Z ability, he gives support for his team, and he can get slowly builds up his gauge and heals. So that's nice. Ultimate Gohan is best overall purple blast base, and then if you have Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, he'll be the #1 option. But I have Kryon, he's just the second best. And then yellow, like I said, I could have went with Goten for the yellow offensive Z abilities. I just added Gotenks just cause, but I might just remove him and then just add in this Goten just because of the S tier buff and a guaranteed blue. So yeah, that's pretty much it with the team. Let's talk about the best characters for each color for the blast base side. When it comes to red, like I said, I think Gotenks is overall better, but actually Pan is #1, and then I'm gonna go Gotenks #2, then I'm gonna go Nerdhan #3. After that, I'm gonna go yellow. I think just Beast Gohan is #1. Even though he's strike based, he just, no matter blast or strike, he's just the best overall character. If not, I'm gonna go TV second. Then after that, third, I'm gonna go Gotenks. Fourth, I'm gonna go Goten purple. I'm gonna go Ultimate Gohan. Then I'm gonna go Grunks because they're half blue, half purple. So they're like my top 2 purples, blast base wise for the main 6. And then I'll probably do this free to play Goten as like a supporting role. If you pair him up with a lot of Gohan character, he excels. Green, Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Then second, I'm gonna go Kryon for the strike bait. For the blast base side of the team. And then blue wise, I'm gonna go the free to play Saiyan Saga Gohan, and then I'm gonna go Grunks, and then I'm gonna go the Super Saiyan BoJack movie Gohan for blast base. So yeah, that's pretty much it with the blast base team. Let's hop into the strike base side. Alright, so for the last team I have is going to be strike base hybrids. So let's get to it. Backup characters, Green Shredder Trunks, double offensive Z ability, and then someone that just correlates with the strike base side of the team is going to be the EX Super Saiyan Team Gohan, in my opinion. So after that, in terms of the other good colors, or not other good colors, but other good units from the Z tier spot, even though they're strike or blast, just good overall characters. Transforming Team Trunks, this purple one right here, Super Saiyan Future Trunks, and then you also have this Kid Gohan here, that's also really good. In terms of the S tier side, though, they have some really good S tier options. I think like 3. So you have Grunks, not Grunks, but Drip Trunks. You do have EX Grunks, that's really good, and then the yellow Goten, double offensive Z abilities, and he's getting a guaranteed blue, I believe the second turn, if I'm not mistaken. So after that, we got the main 6 here. Now I know I'm showing 5, but if you do have Ultra Beast is just by far the best yellow. So it's really hard to replace him as a yellow for sure. Like he's ridiculously that good. Yellow Blast, like he could still be #1, even though TV is a really good option to choose from. I'm gonna show you guys the replacement though. So after that, here I got Pan. I have Nerdhan here just because I don't want to add too many C tier characters for the team if I don't have to. Bola Vegeta, just another character that gives support and healing for the team, so I always add her in the middle. Blue Beast, just the best offensive blue strike based character. Green, I just went Drip Trunks. He's an S tier character, so I just feel like why not. You could definitely do LF Super Saiyan Teen Trunks for sure, but I just didn't want to add too many C tier characters. And then for the yellow, Ultra Beast, but you know, since I don't have him, character that I'll probably just rock is probably just gonna be I could go with Goten for sure, or I'm just gonna go with Gotenks. He's just a really good support character. Can't go wrong with that at all. So, but in terms of the best colors for each, when it comes to red, let me take out this. It's going to be Pan, it's going to be Red, Transforming Beast, and Nerdhan. Those are like my top 3. When it comes to yellow, it's going to be Ultra Beast, Gotenks, then yellow Goten for strike base rise. Purple wise, here I'm going to go with Bulla Vegeta just because of her support and what she provides for the team. You have Grunks, they have equal stats, so you could rock them on the strike base side. And then that's pretty much it. I'll probably put third. I'll probably put like Revival Gohan. Like that's just how lackluster their purples are. Then after that, green, I'm gonna go LF Super Saiyan Team Trunks. Then that's pretty much it. And then Drip Trunks. All the other ones are blast based like Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan and Kryhan. And then EX Grunks is equal. So I mean they're not bad. And then blue, pretty much Blue Beast, Soda Hulk Trunks, and then the LF Grunks. So yeah, that's pretty much it with the video. Hope you guys enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe, and rough, and I'm out.